Hey guys, I know there's a little bit of a delay, but I'm trying to make sure that everybody can hear me, so make sure and type in the chat. And if you hear me on the walkie-talkie, I'm asking Invington if he can hear me, so I can only see like one screen at a time.
Yep, I can see you and I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Let me hop over and make sure everything is looking okay. I'm super excited about this today, and I tried to like clean up around here because this is like the front of the RV. Since the back is normally where my studio is, it's not really like air conditioned. I know a lot of people see me in there when I'm recording. So we're here in the front of the RV live, but I'm gonna hop over on YouTube real quick and join the chat, and then we'll get started, and then we're gonna have Q&A here at the end. So make sure that y'all stick around for the Q&A here at the end. Foodie Bear, hey everyone, CJ, I see you. Michael, you're here. Brenda, hey Brenda, thanks for joining. I'm so glad you're here. And then, of course, if anybody's watching the replay, make sure to put that you're watching the replay, because I definitely will see your questions later on, and it also helps the YouTube algorithm if you put comments out there and let them know that you're watching. So yeah, I've been trying to announce this webinar for a while, and I know some of you joined the last time, and honestly, you have no idea what happens behind the scenes in my RV. I got so sick last time when I wanted to do this webinar, and I literally just showed up with like seconds to spare, and thankfully I know how to do this live stream because I've been doing YouTube for such a long time that it comes in handy on that side of things. So I'm super excited to share this live for the people that are joining live and for people that are watching the replay, because this is really my RV life and my journey and kind of like how I got here. And these are really personal details that I've never shared before, because I just really haven't shared them. So I'm excited to kind of get started, and I'm excited to hear what questions you have. So make sure you put them in the chat. You can put them in like as we go. I'm gonna read back through them at the end of this, and I'll also be answering them live with you at the end of this. So stick around for that. And then yeah, Michael, I know you're already asking me questions. So I'm super excited to join, for everybody that's joining, and I'm super excited to not get distracted by the questions because I love talking to y'all and I never get on here live. So I just sent out the email. Everybody should be getting on here shortly, or watching the replay, because I'll be sending out a replay of this. And yeah. So let me hop off here, and I'm gonna start the slides that I've prepared, and then I'll hop back on here for some Q&A. And of course, I want to make sure if we're having any issues, make sure to put that in the chat, because Invington is watching the chat for any kind of major questions or issues that come up. And that's where we're at. So, okay, cool. Let's get started. Let me hop off of here and put this screen away. So this is my OBS software. I don't know what y'all are seeing, so hold on just a second. This should be my screen. So if we put the slides up, and we have the slides. Hey, Invington, can you see the slideshow really good, or how's it looking?
Yep, can see it. Full screen.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of go through this. Like I said, if you have questions, let me know. But I'm so excited to dive into this. So, welcome to today's RV Living Money Masterclass, where I'm going to teach you how to multiply your income and mobilize your life. And who am I? I'm blogging Brandy. So, let's dive into this. So, the strategy today is that I want to set your RV lifestyle goals and create a budget. We're going to determine your ideal RV lifestyle and calculate the cost so you know exactly what it will take to achieve your dream RV life. We're also going to talk in step 2 about funding your RV life and learn how to generate income and discover ways to save money so that you can afford to stay on the road. And we're going to talk in step 3 about mobilizing and downsizing, so making your life mobile and adopting a minimalist mindset by going digital and taking actionable steps to mobilize your life. And then in step 4, we're going to talk about buying an RV and understand how the RV buying process works and discover which RV is right for your lifestyle and budget. So this is value packed. You want to make sure and turn off all distractions and really pay attention. So most RVers don't do enough research and planning up front before diving into RV life. They end up buying the wrong RV, waste time and tons of money dealing with all the issues that come along with RVing they didn't expect. Then they end up running out of money, hating their RV, or even quitting RV life altogether. So, pro RVers have all the research they need before buying their RV and starting a life on wheels. They have planned and prepared for any type of pandemic that could happen on the road. They have a predictable stream of revenue and get to experience the true freedom RV life is about without stressing over all of the what ifs. So settle in and stick around. If you know RV life is calling your name, but you're scared about all the what ifs, you're ready to get started RVing, but not sure which RV is right for your lifestyle and budget, you know you can live in an RV at a reasonable budget and just need help calculating the cost of RV living expenses. You want to learn ways you can save money now and later to fund your RV lifestyle. You need help generating mobile income streams or finding a remote working job. You want to downsize your things and become a digital nomad. Or you want to understand the RV buying process and how to purchase your first RV without getting ripped off. Now, it might be a good idea to leave the masterclass now. If you love the idea of living in an RV but think RV life is too expensive and you'll never be able to afford it, you're an information junkie but do not take action, you're not serious about full-time RV life, you think you have to have the next 50 years of your life planned out and saved up for before you actually start enjoying it, you think YouTube will teach you everything you need to know about RV life? You'll be happy sitting in the same place you're in 1 year from now, 5 years from now, or even 10 years from now. And you get mad when I give you 45 minutes of the strategy that has helped me generate multiple streams of income and live the RV life most people could only dream of. Then complain when I make you an offer for an exclusive opportunity to work with me. Stay tuned until the end for Q&A. But before we dive into tactics, here's a little history on what qualifies me to deliver this life-changing information. Who am I and what makes me qualified to teach this? If we haven't officially met, I'm Blogging Brandy. When I grew up, I wanted to be a cosmetologist. So yes, I am a licensed master cosmetologist in the state of Georgia. but my dad wanted me to go to college. So while I was cutting hair, I acquired my bachelor's degree in finance. Now, I've also acquired a few more licenses along the way. You may not know this about me. I actually have a Series 7, a 66, an insurance license, and variable products. These obviously say inactive because if you're not registered with a company, you can't hold these licenses anymore, but this shows you the licenses that I had. So I used to work for Bank of America Merrill Lynch in Atlanta, Georgia. And I've worked for another company or two. And I've worked in accounting and finance for over 10 years, both with individuals investing millions of dollars and institutional investors trading billions of dollars. So I had the fancy job title, I had the high rise condo, the luxury car, the money, 401k, paid vacation, sick leave, all the perks and benefits you could imagine and dream and desire for this lovely corporate job. Then one day I watched a webinar I found online, kind of like the one you're watching right now. And I decided to start my own business. Now, my first business was a vape pen e-liquid. It was a bad idea. I didn't smoke. I didn't know my audience. I had no idea what I was selling. It ended up being regulated by the government. I couldn't run ads on my products. It was a big fail. But it taught me a lot about selling, especially online. So my second idea was to start a reselling business and start selling other people's products. Buy low, sell high. And it took off like a rocket. It allowed me to quit my 6-figure job, sell my condo, my car, everything I own, and buy an RV. So this is actually my resignation letter, and I just recently started sharing this like this month with a couple of people. But I used to work at Bank of America Merrill Lynch. On February 18th of 2015, I wrote them this letter in an email, probably not the most professional way, but this is how I gave up my 6-figure job. I said, "To whom it may concern, please accept this letter as a notification that I'm resigning from my position with Bank of America Merrill Lynch on February 18th, 2015. I apologize for not being able to provide a 2 weeks notice. However, I regret that due to circumstances beyond my control, I need to resign immediately. Please forward my last paycheck to my home address. Thank you for the support that you provided me during my tenure with the company." Well, obviously they got the message because I did get my last paycheck and I hit the road. So, however, once I hit the road, I learned a lot about being mobile and creating mobile streams of income. So, along the way of being an entrepreneur, I've also written a book, developed a mobile app, taught an online course or 2 or 3, freelanced my skills and services, created custom merchandise, and so much more. My first RV was a travel trailer, which was involved in a horrible RV accident. Then my second RV was a van. I decided to live the van life, and it turned out to be a lemon. So I did a collateral swap for a newer model. Yes, I had 2 of them. I had a 2016 Winnebago van, and I also had a 2008 or 2009 smart car that you can obviously see is great. And then I had a 2018 Winnebago van and a different smart car, same year and convertible, it's just blue. So yes, I had 2 vans and I had 2 smart cars. My third RV, technically fourth RV, was and still is a Class A motorhome. So yes, that is my smart car inside. I've bought RVs, new and used, both towable and motorized units. I've dealt with RV insurance claims, lemon laws, warranty issues, and a stolen trailer. I've RV'd through hurricanes, snow, wind, rain, ice, and almost any other kind of inclement weather. And I've traveled thousands of miles and hundreds of places in the past 5 years. I started from zero. I had a house full of stuff and a stationary sticks and bricks life, plus a job I hated. I had never RV'd before. I had no idea how to run a business or generate income, especially online or on the road. I knew nothing about living in an RV, which is why I'm so freaking passionate about sharing the tactics that truly changed my life. These are the tactics that allowed me to quit my six-figure job and live a life on wheels when I was only 30 years old, which means I'm older than that, way before retirement. And it took me from zero to making hundreds of dollars in 1 week. So this is an actual screenshot of when I started learning how to sell online. And as you can see, I had $0 the last year and $0 in the previous 30 days. And this was literally a 30-day/week screenshot of about what I was learning how to make. Then I learned about generating consistent income. So I went from making hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars month after month. So fast forward to 2020, if you look at these screenshots, this shows you in the first quarter, I've been able to generate $41,000 with multiple streams of income. Then if you fast forward in the second quarter of 2020, being on the road at $54,000, and then third quarter of 2020, $46,000, and this was taken a couple days ago, so we haven't even finished out the quarter for quarter three yet, but this is making over $100,000, and we're not even done with 2020 yet. And this has allowed me to work from anywhere. Right now, I live in an RV park and I'm hosting this webinar from my RV on this beautiful lake and with Birdie, who may make a cameo later on. Now, are you ready to do the same? Give me a ready in the chat. By having this blueprint at your fingertips, imagine where you could be in 1 year from now. Consider this your fast pass for what I'm about to show you. So give me a ready in the chat, guys, if you're ready to do the same and get your RV life started on this same path to success. I'm going to be reading your questions and comments here at the end of this, but let's go through this and dive in. So my goal today is to get you on the road to RV living the fastest route possible without all of the detours. What is your biggest fear about full-time RV life? So I posted this question in one of my RV groups and got a lot of comments and a lot of different answers. So when I asked this question, I heard things from missing my family and my home, to having a site to live, money, having a place to park during quarantine. It's not really a fear, but being able to go through a drive-through, internet problems, I need to keep working, long-term RV parking, a job, I would never want to sell my house. The number one fear about RV life and getting started is money. People say it time and time again. Money, income stability, job, money in tornadoes, money in quitting my job, finding a remote job, how to earn money, 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 running out of money. Me too. These are the exact steps you need to take in order to make your full-time RV living dream possible. Step number 1. Set your RV lifestyle goals and create a budget. Determine your ideal RV lifestyle and calculate the costs so you know exactly what it will take to achieve your dream RV life. What does your ideal RV life look like? When and how long do you plan on RVing at a time? RV lifestyles consist of weekenders, part-time, full-time, Weekenders are your average vacationers. They take the RV out for a quick weekend trip. Part-timers typically RV for several months out of the year. Think snowbirds in the winter. They may have a home they live in part of the year and an RV to travel in. Full-timers are all in and live in their RV 24/7, meaning years. Eventually, you might want to go full-time in your RV life, but starting out, you might opt for shorter trips to get the hang of it, going from days to months, then years. Who is RVing with you? Ask yourself, how many people will be RVing with you? Are you traveling alone or with a spouse? Do you have children that will be coming along? Any pets, dogs, cats? Anyone that is handicapped or has disabilities? Are you hooking up or boondocking? Hooked up means you're stationary, connected at an RV park or campground to get things like your water, electricity, sewer, Wi-Fi, cable. Or are you planning on boondocking, which means you're going to camp without hookups? You're self-contained either on land or in a parking lot. You'll be required to bring all of your own water, generate your own electricity, and find a way to dump your dirty water holding tanks, better known as your sewer. Maybe you plan on doing a little bit of both. Now, my dream RV lifestyle, I prefer being hooked up at an RV park versus boondocking. I have a dog and travel alone or with my boyfriend. I like things to be easy and simple. I don't like to waste my time or money. Now, creating an RV budget, you want to calculate the cost to live your RV lifestyle. So, RV living expenses are going to be things not only to think about like your RV payment, taxes, and fees to get into RV living, but also your RV insurance. And then, if you want to actually move the RV or use the RV, you're going to need things like fuel for gas or diesel and propane, and then water, electric, and sewer, cable and Wi-Fi, and then service and maintenance and other expenses that might come along. Now, you'll often see the term WES, which means water, electric, sewer. If I say that anywhere throughout, that is a common RV term. So let's dive into this. Now, your initial purchase price, you want to calculate your RV cost. So financing the RV, the cost of RV life is the cost of the RV. The first cost of RV life is the cost of the RV itself. So most people don't realize RVs are financed like a house, which means the payment terms are amortized over 10, 20, even 30 years, depending on the year, model, or the value of the RV to the bank and your credit record, your credibility to pay. And then some people say, well, I just want to pay for my RV outright. So you can decide to pay in full for your RV if you find one within your budget. Either way, you're going to have to factor in costs like taxes, registration, fees. I call these startup costs. Plus, you're going to need RV insurance. Now, initial purchase example. This is actually something that I found in my manuals, and this is what somebody paid for my RV when they first bought it. So this is not what I paid for my RV, but this is what the person that purchased my RV paid. But you can see it's a 2018 Outlaw. They purchased it new. I bought my RV used, but this is a 37 RB. You can see their payment terms was 240 months at 5.99%. It only had 1,100 miles on it, but that is actually like your delivery miles. Those are pretty normal to have 1,000 miles on your RV when you get it delivered. And then selling price, it tells you the selling price. They didn't have a trade-in. They did put $15,000 cash down. They had to pay $9,000 in taxes. They added on a $6,400 warranty. And then there's some other fees in there, I guess, of $4,700. So you can see that the amount that they actually financed was $143,000. So it can get really pricey if you buy a brand new RV. All these other expenses kind of get added on top of the price. But an example of RV payments monthly is what you really need to think about. So if you were financing a travel trailer, my travel trailer cost me around $200 a month that I had. My Class B spinner van was around $700 a month. My Class A motorhome cost me around $1,000 a month. I did have a trade-in, and I want to say there was like a car somewhere along the way, but it can be less than that, or more, just depending on your credit, your situation, your bank, everything. But RV insurance overall has cost me between $75 and $100 per month on top of all of these types of RVs. I've never paid over $100 a month, either for part-time or full-time. And then you want to estimate your RV operating expenses. So, fuel, that's your gas, diesel, propane. If you plan on traveling, you need fuel to move the RV, either gas or diesel. So, my motorhome is gas. It costs me about $200 to fill up, and that will get me about 600 miles. I don't use my propane when I'm plugged up. But if I'm traveling and need to heat the RV, or cook or use hot water, I'd pay about $60 to fill up my propane. And then I really have only filled up my propane once or twice a year. So gas to move is about $200 to fill up 600 miles, and then propane will get me like a year, or I can pay that twice a year. So it really doesn't cost me a lot, depending on whether I'm boondocking or moving the RV or using my propane. It kind of just depends. So then estimating RV operating expenses. Water, electric, sewer. If I'm traveling, I'd pay about $10 to $15 to get water or dump my sewer at a truck stop, or maybe plug up at an RV park overnight, which would cost me around $30 instead of the $10 or $15, which maybe you could just pay one off, and they might charge you $15 to just dump. But usually if I'm traveling, I would just plug up overnight, pay the $30 and do everything I need to do, and then keep moving. Water, electric, sewer, WES, cost me about $500 a month right now where I'm plugged up. So that comes out to about $16 a day. And then cable, Wi-Fi, phone. Cable, I don't have cable. I use my RV antenna for free cable TV. And then Wi-Fi and phone, I pay about $100 a month for my phone and a hotspot with data to keep me connected. I never really have to worry about Wi-Fi anymore. So these are just general RV expenses and things that I've kind of played around with and plugged to give you some ideas. Your RV lifestyle and RV operating expenses could be completely different. Service and maintenance. Yes, those major things can come up, but you can do a lot to prevent major issues like changing your air conditioning filters or getting oil changes. That's both on the RV itself or maybe even your generator. You can do a lot of these things yourself, but for those times when do it yourself isn't cheaper, then think of having a sticks and bricks home. You still have normal wear and tear items, so you might need a repairman every once in a while for things like electricity or propane leaks, anything that's sketchy stuff. You could pay anywhere from $10 or to $1,000 or more depending on the service or item needed. So if you're just replacing an air conditioning filter, it might be $12. Or if you're having a major problem with your air conditioning, you might spend over $1,000. I bought my RV used and purchased a warranty that covers everything from top to bottom on my RV for any major issues. So this was financed into the cost of my RV, but you'll pay anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 for a warranty, which is about $10 a month over the course of an RV loan, depending how your RV loan is structured. Not necessarily set in stone on those numbers. And then for emergencies, I have roadside assistance, which I pay less than $25 a month in case of a breakdown, a flat tire, anything that happens while I'm on the road, so I never have to worry about all of those what ifs. Now, other expenses that you might want to factor in. Any other expenses, things like meals and entertainment, an additional car or tow vehicle, any of your own personal costs, plus any debt or credit card payments that you might have, health insurance, pets, children. My RV living budget. So this is just kind of a glimpse at my RV living budget that I've shared in the past, and this does fluctuate. I did a video on this on my YouTube channel, so this is a snapshot of when I did this back, I want to say in March. So depending on whether it's winter or summer or I'm moving or not moving, this can all change. But these are the basic things that I pay for, or have paid for in the past and had to include in my RV living budget. Same thing, RV payment, taxes, fees, insurance, gas, either of diesel or gas for fuel, propane, water, electric, sewer, cable, Wi-Fi, service and maintenance, other. break down the cost. So when you're thinking about your RV budget, don't think of it as this big, huge number. Break down your expenses into yearly, monthly, and daily amounts that are more realistic to achieve. So, for example, if you're thinking yearly, you're thinking $12,000. That's a huge number. But if you're thinking monthly, that's only $1,000 that you need to come up with. And then if you think about it in terms of daily, that's only $33 a day that you need to come up with. Now, RV price differences monthly, like I mentioned, a trailer you're going to consider it to be $200 a month. A Class B might be $700 and a Class A motorhome might be $1,000. But if you think about it in terms of daily, it's a lot more affordable. A travel trailer might only cost you $7 a day. Your Class B van could be $23 a day, or a Class A motorhome might only cost you $33 a day. Now, step 2 is to actually fund your RV life. So, we need to discover ways to save money and discover ways to generate income to fund your mobile life. So, RV income streams. How will you fund your RV life? Do you already have money in savings? Are you going to work a remote job? Do you plan to start a side hustle or business of your own? Maybe self-employment is calling your name. You want to be self-employed. So you want to think about jobs in RV life in terms of stationary versus mobile jobs. So stationary jobs are going to be location dependent and typically more long-term jobs. An example of this might be a work camper where you work at an RV park and you get to stay for free in exchange for you working for them. And then you might think about like a local job when you're traveling and getting a job as a bartender or a seasonal job. And then mobile jobs are going to be location independent. So they're going to be more short term or remote, virtual, online. Examples of this are going to be travel jobs such as nurses or contractors, and online jobs, maybe remote, self employment. Now, think about RV income streams. And this is a visual. This is kind of like how my brain works. But you have your savings. So maybe you're going to fund your RV life with your investments. Maybe you have some money in investments. Maybe you have your personal savings. Maybe you have a 401k or a pension or Social Security, depending on how old you are, that you're going to fund your RV life with. And then maybe you're going to fund it with employment. Maybe you're employed. Maybe you're going to get a work camping job, remote online work job, a travel job, or a local job. Or maybe you're going to be self employed, freelance your skills, develop a product, or sell a service. Now, ways that I've made money on the road: I've written a book, I've sold online courses, affiliate marketing, branded merchandise, a Patreon and YouTube account, freelance my service and skills, private labeled products, reselling, retail arbitrage. These are just a few of the ways that I've made money. Now, RV income streams. I want you to kind of think of like this is multiple income streams. So you might get money from reselling, you might have personal savings, investment, branded merchandise. These are different income streams that are coming in or could be coming in. So these are multiple income streams that could be funding your RV life. So, multiple income streams. Consider having multiple income streams versus one stream of income. Having multiple streams of income can help you create a money machine. So, no matter what happens to one stream of revenue, another stream of revenue is always working when one is not. So, when you're thinking of RV revenue income streams, think about it in terms of what if reselling falls off, or what if app sales aren't happening, what if course sales aren't happening, or what if the investment side is down. These are all going to affect your income stream. So you're going from having multiple to having like say 10 to having 5, or versus if you only had one stream of revenue and say a pandemic happened. So finding funds. What money will you make during the downsizing process and transition process into RV life? Meaning, what can you or will you sell to fund your RV and RVing lifestyle? Your car, your house, belongings. What can you cut out of your current living expenses now to start saving money for your RV life? And what will you not need to pay for once you get started RVing that you currently pay for now? And then, how can you start downsizing your current debt? Is there anything you can pay off or pay down on? For example, credit cards. Maybe save on interest with 0% offers or transfer balances to lower interest credit cards. And then, step 3 is to mobilize and downsize. So, make your life mobile and adopt a minimalist mindset by going digital and taking actual steps to mobilize your life. Go digital and start making your life mobile. So this is going to include things like your mailing address, or what we like to call your domicile. This is going to be for things like taxes and your driver's license, your vehicle registration. If you're going to be mobile, you got to have some type of address. So you might want to think about this also for mobile banking. You want to be able to get money out of the bank and put money into the bank when you're on the road. So you're going to want a bank that has mobile banking. And then insurance, in terms of health insurance, doctors, medical and prescriptions. What if you're on the road and something happens? What are you going to do? And is your insurance going to cover it? And then this also includes obviously remote work and job. Your office has to be mobile. And then you're also going to have to digitize your documents and go digital. Put everything online. There is a process to making your life mobile. And you also have to downsize. So the keys to downsizing is to become a minimalist. Adopt a minimalist mindset. Less is more. Remember, space is limited in an RV. Some things you're never going to use in an RV, or maybe can't. You want to start with the necessities. Keep in mind, more stuff means more weight, which means more money to pay for the fuel to move it around. If you haven't used it in 3 to 6 months, let it go. Learn to live seasonally and also make money while you downsize. When you're selling your house, your car, your clothes, think of ways that you can make money while you're doing this. Downsizing 101. So when you're downsizing, a good rule of thumb is to have a couple piles. So what I like to do is have a pile of keep, a pile of sell, a pile of donate or give away, and then a pile of trash, because some things are just trash and nobody's ever going to use. So keep that in mind. And then step 4 is to buy an RV. So understand how the RV buying process works and discover which RV is right for your lifestyle and budget. Understanding RV types and sizes. So obviously there are hundreds and probably thousands, I don't know, there's lots of RV types out there, like a lot. But there are 2 basic types of RVs. So there's drivable RVs and there's towable RVs. Drivable RVs are often referred to as motorized RVs. They don't require an additional vehicle to operate them because they are a vehicle and a house. So it's a car and a house in one. They obviously have an engine. So it's going to be like your Class A motorhomes. Like those are your big buses that you normally will see. Your Class B vans. Yes, this is a little bit backwards, I know. But your Class B van is the smallest of the drivable RVs. And then you have your Class C RVs, which is your typical RVs with that weird like overhang in the front, which is normally used for sleeping or sometimes storage. But that's your like 70s, 80s old school RV that you normally think of. They're not all old school, but that's the normal RV when you see it. So that's Class C. So they're a little backwards in size. And then you have your towables, which do not have their own motor and must be attached, or you actually have to have a tow vehicle, or you could have them delivered to where you're going to be. With an you have to have a tow vehicle or have someone deliver it for you. So that's going to be like your travel trailer or a fifth wheeler, and the difference between these just has to do with the tow mechanism and how they are hooked up in the vehicle that you're towing them with, and then also the capacity of the vehicle to actually tow these. So depending on how large of a truck or SUV or whatever you're towing with, is going to depend on what kind of RV you can get in terms of a travel trailer or fifth wheeler. And then also they have pop-ups. And then of course, like I said, there are some other types of RVs in between, but these are your basic, your drivables and your towables. Now, how to choose the right RV. So first, you want to decide on your RV lifestyle, which we've already kind of discussed. So how long do you plan on staying in your RV at a time? Full-time, part-time weekends? Do you plan on boondocking or hooking up at an RV park? How many people will be in your RV? Are there going to be any pets or kids? Will you need a will you need a bed or bunk beds, or do you need a table or couch? Sometimes these things are all interchangeable, so you may have one versus the other, or maybe you have all. And then what about an office space? Do you plan on towing? And then also in choosing the right RV, you need to calculate your budget. So not just your lifestyle, but your budget. So buying an RV is just the first cost of entry to RV life. So of course there's going to be your taxes and fees, your startup costs like we discussed, plus your RV insurance. Then you have to add in all of the RV expenses like fuel, gas, diesel, propane, your RV park costs, or however you plan to get water, sewer, electric, and any other personal costs, meals and entertainment, health, insurance, pets, kids, whatever normal necessities you would be paying for IRL, in real life, today, in an RV or not. And then also the most important part of choosing the right RV is doing your research. This is the most important part of all, and if you're here, so that obviously means that you're taking a great step in that direction. So don't rely on the RV dealerships or the ones selling it to you to teach you anything about it. They are trying to sell it to you. There is no perfect RV or way to RV. Everyone has their own idea of comfort, which is what you should aim for. You need to learn as much as you can before buying an RV, but have a list of wants and needs and know more about the RV you're buying than the one selling it to you. Now, my RV lifestyle. Again, I prefer to be hooked up at an RV park, but like the ability to boondock comfortably if needed for days or weeks at a time when traveling. I like to spend a minimum of 2 to 3 days in a location, but aim for weeks or months, usually in between destinations. I have one dog now, but I used to have 3 dogs in one van plus 2 adults. I don't like towing, so I load my smart car in my garage, and I bought my RV for this reason. I wanted a home on wheels with plenty of space to work and hang out, even with the slide outs in, while on the road, not stationary or plugged up. I don't go off road or out in deserted, primitive areas on purpose. And remember, my first RV was a travel trailer, then I lived the van life, and then ended up in my Class A motorhome. So my RV living budget, again, might be different from your RV living budget, but this is what I've kind of included. And then the worst mistake you can make is buying the wrong RV for your lifestyle and budget. So I've bought 3 RVs in the past 5 years: a travel trailer, a van, and a Class A motorhome. The cheapest one was the most expensive mistake. The biggest one was cheaper than the smallest, and I wasted a lot of time, money, and the first 3 years of my RV life were miserable. Understanding RV buying. So you want to decide on new versus used. You also want to know the RV's fair market value, or you might see it referred to as the FMV, before going into the dealership or talking to whoever's selling you the RV. Financing versus cash. How much money do you need now versus later? You might need a down payment. Also consider your credit score. RVs are luxury items and typically require a good credit score, but they can be purchased with less than perfect credit. Warranty options can be added. New or used RVs can have warranty options. I have a warranty on my RV and it was purchased used, and as you saw earlier, the people that bought my RV purchased a warranty with it as well. So new or used can have warranties. RV insurance is required, part-time or full-time. And then pre-delivery inspection or a PDI checklist, you want to have this because the RV dealership has theirs, you want to have yours. And then you also are going to have an orientation and walkthrough at delivery. And this is really important that you cover a lot of things during this orientation and walkthrough, because once you leave the delivery site and picking up your RV, there's a lot of things they may not cover once you've left the scene of the crime. Here are the steps you need to take to make your full-time RV living dream possible. So this is what we just went over. Step 1, set your RV lifestyle goals and create a RV budget. Step 2, fund your RV life. Step 3 is to mobilize and downsize. And step 4 is to buy an RV. Now, keep in mind, I started out knowing nothing about RV life or building a business. My business started out as a side hustle. I had to start over from the bottom again and again before I got where I am. I used to care about what everyone else would think. Now I only care about what I think. I knew nothing about RVing, buying, using, maintaining. I've learned everything from investing a lot of time and money. I have the life I have because I keep an open mind and have taken crucial steps to invest in myself. Deciding on a budget for your ideal RV lifestyle is just one of the steps you need to take before getting started RVing. Without the proper planning, you can expect RVing to get expensive or make a big mistake you'll regret for years to come. Over the past 5 years, I've found ways to RV cheaper, faster, and easier, but it all took a lot of mistakes, time, and money. Whether you want to spend thousands or hundreds, there's an RV life for every shape and size RV budget. All you have to do is learn how to make money to fund your RV life and how to save money, aka also known as RV on a budget. So I started out on top of the world, only to lose everything a few months later when I totaled my trailer. So I totaled my trailer and I totaled my SUV that I was towing my trailer with, all within like 4 or 5 months of starting my brand new RV life. This is what could happen to you. I started out small in my Sprinter van, and then things got bigger. So I started out small before things got bigger. I've spent Christmas in Las Vegas in my RV at some pretty cool places with my lovely dog Princessa, who's not here anymore, but it was an amazing trip and something I can only have these lovely pictures to remember her by, but I will never forget this trip. And I've spent Christmas at the beach. So last year I was spending Christmas at the beach. I've also spent thousands of dollars to stay in some of these places. So when I stayed in Las Vegas, as you can see, it cost thousands of dollars to stay in Las Vegas. Of course, this was for 91 nights, and you get a little bit of a deal depending on how long you're going to stay, and then you have to factor in all of your utilities. And I've managed to stay in some amazing locations for free. So, not paying anything. I've been able to stay at Space Coast in Florida. Again and again, I stayed in Crystal Isles in Florida. I stayed at Sunshine Holiday in Daytona. I love Daytona. I spent Christmas in Daytona last year. This is not theory. Until now, I only shared this entire system one-on-one with clients. I have tested this entire system and proven its results even with my own RV life. At this point, I know I can make a greater impact by sharing it with more people, which is why I no longer work one-on-one with clients. This method is time tested and proven, and to this day, I'm using these methods and systems in my own business and RV life. In fact, I use these strategies for this webinar that you're in right now. If you're thinking, I'm ready, where do I start, Brandy? All you have to do is commit, focus, and take action, which you've already done by taking the time to be in this masterclass today. I just gave you my full-time RV living blueprint, but as you can imagine, this is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to getting started RVing, multiplying your income, and mobilizing your life. So you have two options. You can do it yourself and end up kind of like I did when I started out, or you can take a proven path to success and learn from my mistakes. Now, if you're smart and decide to work with me, then nothing is held back. No missing steps. You just need to follow my lead step by step. I'm on a mission to accelerate your growth, to remove the headaches and bad advice I was given by the gurus or the lack thereof, and generate income on your own terms. And that's what my full time RV Life formula includes. I've taken the entire process from start to finish, addressing your fears about RV life, setting your RV lifestyle goals, creating your RV budget, discovering ways to save money and generate income to fund your mobile life, mobilizing and downsizing your life, choosing the right RV for your lifestyle and budget, understanding how the RV buying process works, and buying an RV without getting ripped off. And I've put all of this into my program. Why? Because the biggest issue I see with the RVing space is there's not enough information out there. You can watch as many YouTube videos as you want of random RVers, each of them teaching you one aspect of the entire puzzle of RVing. But watching one random video after another doesn't matter if you don't know how to actually put all the pieces of the puzzle together. Buying an RV without a plan and then trying to figure it all out after the fact is a great way to lose your newfound freedom. I wanted you to have the best possible launchpad for a successful RV life and business because I've been through it. I'm coming at this with years of experience, experimenting, and finding the things that actually work long term versus short term. A proven pandemic proof plan. So you can pay full price, like I've done in the past, or you can learn ways to save money. So what, and you can worry about all of the what ifs that could happen. So all the what ifs about getting started with full-time RV life, you can worry about those. Or you can have a proven path to multiplying your income and mobilizing your life, generating over $100,000 even in a pandemic. So I took this screenshot a couple weeks ago and had posted this to my social media, but can you imagine where this is at now? And this is multiple streams of income. And you can do this from anywhere in the RV of your dreams, in the place of your dreams. With multiple streams of revenue, yes, that is cryptocurrency that went from $3,000 upon investment to over $300,000 is where it actually ended up. Knowing you're headed in the right direction. Getting to meet some pretty cool people on the way. But don't take my word for it. Here's what people already have to say. Interesting. You know your stuff. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for covering all the aspects of water pressure. Nice explanation. Thanks for the info. I definitely didn't even know I had an RV lifestyle, but I definitely do. These are great tips. I'm going to share these with my neighbor who has an RV. The part I love about you is that you're consistently confident when you're speaking and showing things to your audience, learning so much about RVs through your videos. I love your videos. Keep it up. Love your videos. You've been doing they have been so helpful for me as I research RVs. Narrowing down the list of rigs is so difficult. Thank you. You're welcome. So you can be the one that dives into RV life head first. You can buying a new RV, trying to stretch your savings and figuring out how to make money on the way. Plus deal with all the issues that come along with RVing. These are the actual screenshots that I pulled from my owner's manual because the people that had this RV from in front of me actually kept it for less than a year and turned it in. And it's because of all the problems that they had over and over and over with RVing. So they were first time RVers, and obviously they finally gave up, and I got a sick deal on my RV. Or you can be this person. Love this. I was looking forward to this journey with you. You were offering exactly the education I needed to get started RVing. So this could be you. The better the fit, the better the results. I'm building a legacy business. I don't want just any client. I want the right clients. Want in? Here's how the process works. Who is this for? You're tired of your stationary sticks and bricks lifestyle and want to live on the open road. You know you don't want to wait until you retire to enjoy the fruits of your labor and understand tomorrow is never promised. You want to escape the rat race, not work a normal 9 to 5 job. You want to go from employee to self-employed. You want to create multiple streams of revenue. You know investing and having skin in the game is the only way to make actual change in your life and not stay stuck in the same position. And people who are action takers and actually going to take action and implement the information. If this sounds like you, you're invited to apply and see if you qualify for my full-time RV Life Formula program. I've set aside time over the next 3 days to talk to you and see if I can help. This call is approximately 30 minutes, and the intention is to understand your business and life goals based on the information. I'll identify how and if we are a fit to work together inside my full-time RV Life Formula program. Apply now. So here's how you can apply. You can head to RVersity.com/join, and I'm going to drop that here in the comments in just a second. There are a lot of people who've inquired about this masterclass, and I can only handle 7 calls a day. So you must apply now. Here's what I know to be true. I would not be where I am today without investing and working with people who were where I wanted to be. Where do you want to be 1 year from now? Apply now, guys. Here's the link. You can schedule a call with me. We can talk about where you're at, and we're going to get you enrolled in my full-time RV Life Formula if it's right for you. So here's the link. I'm going to drop this in the chat. I'm going to hop on for some live Q&A and hop back on here. So let's hop back on this screen. Actually, let me drop this link real quick, and then I'm going to hop back on here for some Q&A. So here's the link. I'm going to drop that in the chat so everybody has that. And let me hop back on the screen. So let's see if y'all can see me here. Yay. I was trying to get this in here. Let me see. We're gonna have, you can see me. Okay, great. Let me see if there we go. So I tried to put this in here so that y'all can see. Let me see if I can make myself a little smaller. Okay. So can y'all see this RVersity join link? So if I'm talking, y'all can still see what's going on. Image. I'm trying to get my video capture here and move this out of the way.
Yes, see it.
Okay, cool. Okay. Let me hop back over to the chat and let's see what questions we have and make sure that everything is going as planned here. So, okay. Where are we at? There's so many great responses over here in the chat. There's all kinds of stuff going on over here I don't even know about. This is crazy. So let's run through here. I just want to make sure before I forget, everybody knows I just dropped a link in the chat. So if you go to RVersity join, you're going to, and let me show you this screen actually real quick. before I forget. So I'm going to show you my screen, not this, and this screen. Invington, can you see this screen? Okay, cool. So if you head to RVersity.com to join, this is where you can see what I'm talking about. So this is the actual RVing, full-time RV life formula that gives you a little bit more information about it. And then this is where you're going to book a call. So you're going to log in here and you're going to go in and you're going to book a time to chat. So we can chat tomorrow, we can chat Friday, Monday, Tuesday. You can go through here and pick out the time that is best for you. And once you lock in a time, it starts to block off my other times, so other people won't have that same time. So that's the page. I just wanted to make sure that y'all saw that. So let me hop back on here and see what questions we have. Okay, guys, cool. Yay! Let me turn on this light that Invington set up for me. Let's see if that helps. We have the ring light here in the RV because the camera on the computer is not that great. So this is awesome to see everybody on here. And let me pull up this live stream so I can see the live stream because it's pretty cool to see this live stream. And I'm going to answer your questions. So bear with me just a second. I'm pulling this up so I can see what you're seeing and I can answer your questions. Wouldn't it be cool if I could see y'all too? That would be even more fun if we all were in. Okay, cool. So this is all lined up. Awesome. Okay. So, pick me. Okay, hey everyone, you two nosy. CJ, thanks for joining. Michael, like I said, thanks for joining. Brenda, thanks for joining. California. CJ, I think you're in the house from Douglasville, Georgia. And then Michael, I want to say Michael's from Pennsylvania, Virginia. He's from up north. Of course, I'm here. Where else would I be? Of course, Michael. Where else would you be? That's right. Thank you for joining. Just winterized your RV and had yearly inspection. Got an extension for your dually. Wow, you're doing a lot of big things. Valier is the best. Yes, Valier. I love my Valier. I use that for my tires, blowing up my tires. This light is like blinding me, guys. Yes, Foodie, agree. Foodie, no more pink stuff. I'm guessing that maybe that's the stuff for the tires. I don't know what you are talking about. I just blow out the water in the process of my tires. You are just talking it up over here while we're having class. Garmin GPS. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. Traffic. Yes, that's great. Yes, Brandy. Thanks. I don't know what you're saying, Yesy, but obviously yes is good. Michael, thanks. I feel old now. That we were probably talking about my age at that point. I know this light. If y'all could see this light, I'm gonna take some before and afters of this, and then I haven't even had a sip of anything, so I have coffee here. Woo, that was a lot of talking and no freaking sips of coffee or water or anything. But I had it here. Let's see. Yes, I'm ready. Ready. Yay, everybody was ready. Sweet Home, Alabama. That's where I'm at. Alabama. 99 problems. RVing isn't one. That's good, Michael, but you've been RVing for a minute, so you have a little bit to add. I need full hookups. See, that's why I hunkered down at the beginning of all of this COVID stuff, because I was worried about having full hookups. Paula, sorry you're late. Don't worry. You are on the replay, so you are not missing anything. And then if y'all haven't joined my email list, you get the notifications for that. So I had sent those out, and I'm sure you're on that. So you'll get the replay for that, Paula. And I need full hookups. No, not your boyfriend. Welcome in, Paula. Haven't missed much. Thanks. I have Dish, Mobile Tech, Hotspot. You can stream anything. Y'all are just chatting it up over here. Lots of options these days. No, not in places Wi-Fi. Glamp. I glamp, not camp. We're just chatting it up over here. This is hilarious. One-way tickets. Let's see. Need AC. Let's see if there's any questions in here. Air would be a problem. Beam to Scotty. There's no intelligence. Y'all are out of control. I'm over here teaching class, and y'all are over here just having all kinds of conversations, like, while the teacher's talking. It's kind of like I'm here writing on the board, and I haven't turned around to check what the students are doing. And y'all are doing, like, throwing paper airplanes and calling each other names, and I don't know. I can only imagine, like, what's going on behind me. Cargo trailer, Michael's telling everybody about his cargo trailer in his RV life. That's what's going on behind the scenes. Pick me. Perfectly normal. Cosmo Kramer, kind of crazy. Foodie FaceTime. Oh my gosh. Pennsylvania. See, I got it right. That's right. Okay, cool. So, I know there's a lot of people that couldn't join this live, and I know there's a lot of chit chat going on in this chat, but there's gonna be a replay of this, and however YouTube works, I have to do a couple edits once this is done, and then publish it to my to my YouTube channel. So this will be up for replay on my YouTube channel, and I've put the link down below so that you can book a call with me, and we can talk about your RV life and where you're at. Are you already RVing? Are you wanting to get started RVing? Are you trying to figure out how to make money and make your RV life possible? I can help you with that. We can go through that process and talk about that. So a lot more than me just chatting to you here on YouTube. We can actually like have a conversation. I think it's funny sometimes people get on the phone with me and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're real." Like, yeah, I'm human. I'm real. Like talking to you right now. But obviously, this is a great way to communicate with you through video. So I love to do these live streams, and I get a little bit nervous about doing them because I'm used to just posting videos on YouTube and waiting for you to comment. So I'm here live in the flesh, and I really wanted to share this with you. I've been putting a lot of this together during COVID, and super excited to finally get this done, especially since I was sick during the last live stream, and this light is so bright, it's like blinded me. So if my eye starts watering, my question is, I heard you have to own land in order to finance an RV. No, that is not true. That is not true, CJ. That is not true. You do not have to own land in order to finance an RV. No, I don't know where you would get that from. So, misinformation. See, perfect example of why we need to hop on a call, CJ. I sent you the link, and we can talk about your schooly life, because I know you want to do the schooly thing. So no matter what kind of RV life you want to get into, there's a lifestyle and a budget for that. But we can talk about that more if you hop on a call and we kind of like chit chat about that. I know you probably have like a little bit more to go behind that question, and talking about money live with everybody isn't always fun. But yeah. So that's all of the questions live that I kind of see in here, and I am like so excited that we got this live stream done. And like I said, my eyes are like watering because I have this bright light in my face right now. My ring light, and we're doing this. So it is what, getting later here. We're on the East Coast. I'm in Central Time, so I'm here in Alabama. I know this was broadcasting for everybody, and we're doing the replay. So, like I said, if you're watching the replay, make sure and drop a comment in the chat and put replay, or a comment below and put replay. Hit a thumbs up to show that you liked this video, and of course, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, which obviously if you're here, I'm assuming that you're subscribed, make sure to subscribe. We're not that far away from 2,000 subscribers, so I'm thinking about maybe doing something fun for that. I think I have about 300 more to go and we'll hit 2,000 subscribers. And yeah, so subscribe and also hit the bell icon somewhere around this video to be notified each and every time that I'm live on YouTube or publish a new video on YouTube. But yeah, I'm reading through your questions. I will peek through them later on, but the best way to obviously reach me is to schedule a time to chat. So like I said, we have this RVersity join link that I've added in here, and I'm going to put it in here one more time in case people see this after the fact. You can book a call here with the RVersity join link, or you can head over to rversity.com and just go to join and it'll take you to the same place. Made it super easy for you. And once I publish this video, after this replay has ended, or after this live stream has ended, I'm going to put the replay out to my email list, post it on social, so you can check that out. And then also on my YouTube channel, you can catch the replay on there and anything that you missed. So that'll take me a second to figure that out. That took a second last time after the last webinar, but I am so excited that we did this, and that, I mean, it's done. It's done. We finally did this. And this is like RVersity 2.0 for those of you that have been following me and you've been asking, where have you been? Why haven't you been posting videos? This is why. Is because I've been working behind the scenes on this amazing thing that we're doing right here. My full-time RV living formula, getting RVersity 2.0 off the ground. So if you want to multiply your income and mobilize your life, get into your dream RV life, take it outside of your same four walls, your stationary sticks and bricks lifestyle, and hit the road with a life on wheels and making money on the road, then we should chat. So head over to RVersity.com/join and we can book a call in time. So Michael, I miss you. CJ, you're welcome. Foodie, Paula, everyone, Brenda, everyone that's watching the replay that couldn't join live, don't worry. That's why you can book a time to chat, and I'm going to be sending this out. So thanks for joining, everyone. I'm so excited about this, to get this started. And yeah, I can't wait to see you on my calendar. Oh, and doors will be closing soon. So I'm doing this in session. So the first group, doors actually close this Friday coming up. Not this Friday, but the next Friday. So booking calls, getting everyone enrolled, and then we're starting soon. So I've already got spots filled. I'm only taking a few spots. So I have 7 spots right now, and you can be one of them. So book a call, we'll chat, get you enrolled, and we're going to get you on the road to your RV life dream, RV living dream, full-time RV living dream. So you could be here on this beautiful lake in Alabama like me, or you could be at the beach at Christmas, or you could be in Vegas, wherever your heart desires. But I'm talking Brandy from RVersity, a university for RVers. This is my RV Living Money Masterclass. Thanks for joining. Thanks for your questions. Don't forget to hit up the link below, RVersity.com/join. And yeah, we'll hop on a call and schedule a time to chat. Can't wait to talk to you guys. Thanks for joining. Have a good night, and I'll see you next time.